Meanwhile, the bait and switch by MAGA is, hey, let's talk about condoms in Gaza, $50 million, $6 million here, based on lies. As Elon Musk admitted in the office, he's just like making a lot of this stuff up. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to be wrong. But then a $4 or $5 trillion tax cut, utterly absurd. Finally, it should be noted that even Egypt's president, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, will not travel to Washington for talks at the White House if the agenda at all includes, ethnic cleansing Palestinians, kicking Palestinians out of Palestine. If there's no two-state solution, the Egyptian president's not sitting there the way King Abdullah in Jordan did, making a fool of himself in front of Donald Trump. We could reflect at the end of President Joe Biden's
This beef stick was only $1.20. Have you know anything about how beef food that?
Turn your radio off. Go watch TV or something. Listen to somebody else's radio program. Because this morning we're going off into a complete different world. When I worked in Las Vegas, and for a number of years I did the program in Las Vegas, from the Union Plaza Hotel. And one night when I was doing a show, this very night, a lady called up and claimed to be a witch. She gave me some very, very disconcerting information, personal knowledge, which I actually leaked off the air. It was so personal, I couldn't believe that she could possibly know these things about me. And toward the end of the call, she said she was going to come and read something for me. Well, she left me a Ouija board, an ancient Ouija board. I have never, nor will I to this day, tell you what has happened to that Ouija board. But when you call upon spirit, when you call upon the dark side, and you use with something, an instrument, it does not matter, you better be damn careful what you're doing. Ouija boards are an opening. They're an opening into a world where there are things that you may not really wish to meet. So my advice to you, without telling you the detailed story of this board, which is frightening, my advice to you is do not play with Ouija boards. It's like opening a door. Just don't know what's going to walk through. West of the Rockies, you're on the air, huh? Oh. Yes. Hello. How you doing? Okay, you're going to have to get into that phone and yell at us.
Alright, how's it?
Not much better.
Alright,
Where are you?
I'm in Spokane.
Spokane, Washington.
Yeah. I have a story for you.
Alright, go ahead.
Tuesday. About a year ago, I was staying at a friend's house up in Newport, and we were sitting down in the basement, right? And we were sitting there smoking cigarettes and talking back and forth.
Doing guy stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there and
Smile.
yeah, just smiling.
Now I can understand that people blow smoke rings.
Yeah.
I can even understand blowing the face, but I can't understand smile.
Yeah, it was kind of funny to play for something. I don't understand that everything. I started thinking now.
It's smile.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
and what happened?
It just kind of disappeared
It's
really
really
slowly.
weird.
He told me that he was up in
Well, I have a photograph, thank you very much. So I have a portrait of of a ghost, a real ghost. It might be a wonderful night for some of you to get this photograph. If you have a computer and a modem, we've got a workflow service, and you can go and get a photograph of this ghost. Actually, there are several ghost photographs. Oh, by the way, my guest this last Sunday on Freeman sent me a photograph of a tornadic ghost. But it is obviously some sort of plasma material at the top of a staircase in the shape of a tornado. Now, down toward the bottom of the tornado, it's translucent. In other words, you can begin to look through it and see the stairs. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen. I'm going to get that one if I was looking for it for you. As soon as they send it to me to scan, I've got a scan of it right now. But I want to be able to scan it myself at a higher resolution rate. If you want to see a ghost, there is a man in Arizona who was a stone mason. He built stone, he did basement. And he did a wine cellar for about 100-year-old house. He was very proud of the work that he did. And when he was done, he took a photograph of his stone masonry work. It was beautiful. Only thing is, when the picture came out, quite clearly a translucent being appeared in the photograph. And it was captured very, very well on film. And we have published this photograph in our newsletter. And I might add, I've got it on our bulletin board. So if you want to download a picture of the ghost, you can call area code 702-727-1709, 24 hours a day. We'll give that number to you again, 702-727-1709. And if you're able to download with Z modem protocol, you can download a photograph of this ghost. You take a look. There's a face, there's a body, there's arms, there's legs. It's a ghost. It's clear. It's in color. There's no mistake about it. There's some sort of spirit, some sort of entity in that photograph, and you're welcome to download it and take a look for yourself. We do a lot of that. We try to make some of this material available to you. So it does not all have to be the theater of the mind. That's what radio is. I want you to be able to see what I see so that you can see that I'm not totally crazy. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art. This is Eric calling from Los Angeles, California.
Hi.
Hi, I have a really good ghost story I want to tell you.
Let her go.
Okay, this story happened in 1951. It was visiting my father, and it happened to his cousin named Robert.
2 prizes for 2 lucky winners right now until Friday at midnight. I mean, there's just a couple days for you to enter possibly win this BMW N2 or a prize that you might have in your house. So you take it.
And he was at a movie theater, and he was in California, and he was leaving going towards San Jose, and there was a second road we call Monterey Highway that they called the Blood Alley. And one night after the movie was done, he was heading home to San Jose, heading north.
Sure.
And he was going about 45 miles an hour in his old car.
I know the road, by the way.
Yeah, and there's a little highway, and while he was going up there, he saw a beautiful young looking lady on the side of the road walking really slowly. And he kind of slowed down and he was looking over her, and she had a beautiful white dress on, And she was looking down, and he slowly passed her. And he looked in the rearview mirror, and he saw her, and he slowed down a little bit more, and was, 10 miles an hour. And for some reason, he got a really nervous feeling inside, and he slowly sped up because he was scared. He didn't know, exactly what it was. And, if there was something different, he got a different feeling inside. And, well, he sped up a little bit. He was going about 35, 40 miles an hour. He happened to look back again, and it didn't go any further away. It wasn't leaving. And that really
You
scared
mean
me.
the lady in the white dress was as close to him?
Yes. As it was the first time he saw her.
Uh-huh.
And he really started getting nervous. And, he put his foot on the pedal and got up to about 55 miles an hour.
Sure.
And he looked in the mirror, and it wasn't any, as a matter of fact, it was getting closer. Because he was getting closer to his car,
Really?
on the passenger side.
There are many, sir, that have died on that road.
Yes, very. There was a lot of fatal accidents back in the 50s and early on and later on also. And as he got up to his feet, he started really stepping on. He was frightened now. By this time, he was really frightened. He was going, tipping the car up to, 70, 75 miles an hour is what he said.
That'd be my reaction.
Yeah, he was really moving now.
I'm the let's get out of here kind of person.
Yes. And he looked in the mirror this time, and he looked in the, and he didn't look in the mirror. He looked over to his right side where his little side mirror was, to get a better picture. And, the worst thing possibly happened that he thought would happen. And there was a white dress floating next to the car. And when he looked at the window, he said he saw a face of a skeleton with white straw hair looking at it with his mouth open. And he was so frightened that he could not believe. He slammed his brakes on in the middle of the road. It was late at night. In the middle of the road, slammed his brakes on, closed his eyes as tight as he could, said a prayer. And when he looked back, it was gone. He turned around and went back to his mother's house, which was about 20 miles the other way, and didn't go look back at all. And he went home and he told the story and told it to the whole family. As far as I know, he never went down that road again if he could.
These things change your life forever. It's thank you very much for the call. It's one thing to tell them, it's another to really experience. When you do, it changes your life forever and ever. Because it does not matter what anybody else believes or chuckles about or laughs about. If you experience something like that, you're never, ever going to do the same. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Dad from Vancouver.
Washington?
Yes. Let's see. I've got a ghost story. Sort of a ghost story.
That's not being almost crazy. Either you're a spirit or you're a physical entity. One or the other.
Well, I'll explain it and go from there.
I can tell you.
I was up in Yosemite, National Park in California.
Yes.
And doing a Ouija board. There were 10 or 12 people in the room. There was only 2 of us on the board. The other people were, standing around watching, contributing their energy. And we got something that.
Did you know that Amazon has a $15 million fund that they have to pay out every month? Here's a really expensive. My name is Charlotte Nicholson, and we help everyday people grow their income with one single method. And we're very darn good at it. Our company, Publishing.com, was named the 19th fastest growing company in Canada. And the only reason we're so successful is because of the success that we've created for others. And I'll tell you why our method works so much better than anything else in my life. It's because starting a business is not the best way for regular people to make more money. And that's what everyone gets wrong. Starting and running a business is hard. It's expensive, it takes a long time, and it requires skills and experience that most people don't have. Instead, we help you plug into Amazon on the side and slowly 100% free. There's absolutely no risk in clicking on this video and seeing for yourself how this is working for so many people. So to get the money on your screen, put in your email, and you'll have instant access to this free training which reveals everything. Steven here says, I'm so glad I didn't skip that YouTube ad because my last check from Audible was life-changing. And here's what others have to say about it.
I want $8,000 in revenue, and I want to try to reach $10,000 in revenue this month.
I've been able to go from 0 to 8 in 7 months, and of course, it's completely changed my life.
I just on a part-time basis, about 5 hours a week, I earn about $100 a year. You want to call that ease, that would apply.
So, to get free access to the training, all you need to do is tap the button on your screen, put in your email, and you can watch it right away. And look, if you're skeptical that what I'm sharing here is BS, or you think that those were paid actors, whatever you're thinking, that's fine. Again, but that's exactly why we put together this free training course, so that you can see for yourself what it's all about first. So you can see how it works, exactly how to do it, completely for free. Now, we wouldn't be the 19th fastest growing company in America if our stuff was bad. The most important thing that we can do right now is don't waste any more time. Make a link, go through the free training, see our 3-step process of making money with Audible, and get results. So again, my name is Charlotte Wilkerson, and I'll see you on the training.
Came across as being, negative. I don't necessarily want to say evil, but definitely negative oriented.
You wanna tell us what it was?
Well, it wouldn't give us a name, but the impression that I have was that it was something higher up than just an ordinary demon. It was very strong, very intelligent.
Now, was this manifesting itself simply through moving on the Ouija board and spelling things out, or was
That's the way it started.
it?
We were, asking questions of it. At first we didn't know that it was evil, but, having done the Ouija board for several years, prior to that, we've learned to ask appropriate questions to determine whether it's a positive or a negative. And after having determined that it was a negative entity, we were going to stop the rest of the people in the room wanting to continue because they were having. So we went ahead and what they were of course was starting to say. After a while, it told us to turn the lights off. Yeah, we turned the lights off, we turned the candle on.
I'm coming out on break. I want you to hold this story for the break, all right?
Okay.
All right, stay right where you are.
Oh, no problem. It asked us to turn the lights off, with a candle, and, we did turn the lights off. Yeah, well, we found out, the hard way. We continued, speaking with it for about a minute or so. Unbeknownst to us, back behind the group, towards the corner of a room, a light started to form. This
be out of there. I mean, in a flash, I'd be out of there, light begins to form where there ought not be light, the room gets cold, that'd be all I need.
Since, my friend and I, have been doing it for, on a semi-regular basis for a couple of years, we were fairly, fluent, at least up to that point. We hadn't, gotten anything that strong, before, but, we pretty much knew how to, deal with it once it got to that point. My friend started getting sick to his stomach, I started, getting a little bit of a headache. So we stopped, with the board itself, and basically moved back away, relaxed ourselves, started saying some prayers, at least I started imagining, a golden, light around myself, which is what I consider protective, light, and, went from there, and we just left the board alone, and the light didn't, fade. We turned on the room light itself, and, faded out.
Well, that's good. There are a lot of people who would say to you, you should have been praying the first time at a place, not mess around with the Ouija.
Well,
Because you know what can happen, sir?
oh yeah, I know
You
that.
can bring something like that into this world or across from wherever it comes from. And you can put your Ouija board away and it won't matter because it's in.
Right, yeah, once it's done the full transformation crossover, yeah, but we managed to stop at the time.
So what would you advise people out there about Ouija boards?
Well, first of all, there are several good books out there. If you're really determined to use one, read the books on it first. The best thing to do is to, one of the most common questions, if you get a negative oriented spirit, one of the most common questions that it will ask is, can I come in? And never think that it's referring to coming into the room or into your home or whatever. When it's asking that question, it's wanting to come into you.
Oh.
And you always say no. And if you get a question like that, I would suggest that you stop and don't mess with it anymore.
Okie dokie, thank you very much for the call. There are many out there who probably ought not mess around with this kind of thing at all. It's very serious. It's not a joke. A Ouija board is simply an instrument, in my opinion. Now, it may be a particularly powerful instrument, but you can invite these sorts of forces in with or without a Ouija board. And my advice to you is, don't do it.
Put all your devices to work all at once with Cox Multi-Gig speeds.
Like an unwelcome in-law coming to visit, it might not leave. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Top of the morning to you.
Hello, Art. This is Jeff. I'm calling from Denver.
Denver, yes sir. Hey, how I imagine.
Yes, and I have a true fact story that I can relate to you about spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them.
Let her rip.
I was living in an apartment complex, and a guy came over to me. I met him, we just inadvertently, and I was working in the legal field, and he asked me to check out whether or not his wife had been married before, and I did that, and I gave him information, and he came over to my apartment.
Had she been? I just want to know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was big man.
Oh my.
He was married to her for 10 years and they never got a divorce. So he came over to my house, he was crying.
Sure.
I took him over to his apartment and tried to calm him down. He went into a rage. He started tearing telephones out of the wall, breaking lamps, tables, etc. And then he came at me like he was going to attack me. He got right up close to me and he fell down and he started to convulse. And I thought, well, this guy has that voice.
Sure.
And then he jumped up again and did the same thing again and went down like someone hit him in the head with a ball bat. And I was frightened. The
hair on my head went up, his eyes were rolling back, he was foaming at the mouth.
You're saying it was like he was in combat with some horse.
I don't know what was going on, but what I can say that really frightened me was he was speaking out of his own mouth and cursing me and doing all this, but there were multiple voices coming out. Sometimes there were one, sometimes it sounded like 2 or 3 or 5 or 6. And then he stopped breathing, and the guy was foaming at the mouth, and that, I went down, I checked his pulse and all that, I had given CPR, get him breathing again, and I had to run over, he pulled the bone out of the wall, I had to run over to the neighbors and ask them to call the cops, and then the cops, the fire department, the EMT, all of them came over, they took him off to ER, and I thought, well, you know, when he was talking to me, it was horrible. It was something I can't even explain.
What would you say? Would you think he was possessed, or was he being beaten by some outside force?
Well, all I can say is there were voices coming out of his body when his eyes were rolled back, he was foaming at the mouth, he was writhing on the floor, and that sometimes it sounded like one person talking, sometimes it sounded like 5, 4, you know, whatever, talking. And so I gave him the CPR, they took him off, and then that was about 11 o'clock at night. And then about 4 in the morning, they let him out of ER and came back to my apartment. And I said, get out of here. Shit, please go now. And then about 5 months after that, I met him in a parking lot of a shopping center. And I said, you know, do you realize what's going on? Do you understand? And he said, yeah, can you imagine what those cops did to my apartment? I said, but the cops didn't do anything, you did that. And I talked with him for a while, and then he told me that he was an immigrant from France, he was in an orphanage in France, and as far as these convulsions and stuff, I asked him if he was epileptic or all that, and he said no. And I was talking with him, and he said, you know, I was in an orphanage in France, and 2 priests told me I was possessed. And I said, oh, Jesus, that was I didn't talk to him about that.
That's enough. All right, my friend, thank you. That's quite enough. Well, what to say about that? We were talking about inviting entities in. Maybe on occasion they invite themselves. Maybe on occasion they take the minds of those who can be taken. Wildcard Line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, I received a little superior.
In Wisconsin.
Actually, I'm in Duluth, but
Duluth, Minnesota.
yeah, your Detroit station is coming through pretty good too.
All right.
Say, are you going to tell us what happened to your Ouija board?
Absolutely not.
Can't talk, can't do that.
No, that's one story I really won't tell. It scares me, and I don't like telling it. Not even on this day. It scares the hell out of me. That's one thing that really did scare me, and that's so I warn people about Ouija boards. How about you? Do you have a story?
Yeah, I got a quick one for you.
All right.
Back in the 50s, my mom was seeing a gentleman in school. She was at really high school. They were really in love with each other, this, that, and the other thing. And one night, she was sleeping and kind of stirred in bed, and she woke up and saw him standing in the room, the bedroom. What are you doing here? He just kind of faded away. And the next day, she found out he was killed in a car accident. So.
Oh, there's a lot of stories like that.
I'm on a break from work in my nice quiet car. I can relax for a little bit. I grabbed my favorite pea stick from Canada Valley. This one is the original flavor, the naturally fermented pea stick, which is 100% grass-fed meat. I actually put venison early this morning, or I was a snack break. These are my bills.
So fun fact, my friend Lilo, she used to buy these for me for my birthday almost every year or 2 years ago. My birthday was the perfect year for Federal. She was the leftover snacks and especially the Federal Valley ones. It was the perfect birthday present because I took one big.
There's a lot of stories. Thank you very much. Now, you see, I believe, we had Brad Steiger on a couple of weeks ago, and actually we've been doing a warm-up now a week for some time now. But there are many, many stories. It seems when many die, the energy that is us, the energy that may be our soul, our essence, whatever it is you want to call it, give your own opinion, has something that it must say to somebody that it is left behind. It must say it, and somehow that energy, either still here on Earth or from elsewhere, finds its way back long enough to assure the person that it loves, or to pass a message that must be passed, information that a loved one must have, and somehow the energy makes it back. It's me. Just new talk shows.
feel the wrath of your own words.